Hello everyone and welcome. So this is just a quick video in which I want to share some of my thoughts regarding the news that Troy, Otto and Daniel Salazar will be returning to Fear the Walking Dead next season. Obviously I will be treading into some spoiler territory here, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Now honestly, my first reaction to hearing this news was me saying something along the lines of, "Oh shit, don't tell me I have to watch this show again." Because for me, Troy and Daniel are two of the best, if not the two best characters Fear has produced. If it turns out they are both going to have significant roles next season, then I might just have to jump on board with Fear the Walking Dead again after calling it quits earlier this year. I, like most people, didn't really expect either of these characters to return. The last we saw of Troy was when he had just taken a hammer to the head twice from Madison and was left to drown as the dam collapsed on itself. Some fans on the internet are suggesting that maybe he actually survived the attack from Madison, and strangely I can kind of see where they're coming from. I watched his death scene again before I made this video, and the nature of his death certainly is more open-ended than someone like Glenn on The Walking Dead who had his head turned to mush. I mean, I don't think that even the most hardcore Glenn fan could make the argument that he survived, but with Troy you kind of can. Yeah, it might be incredibly far-fetched for Troy to survive multiple strikes to the head with a hammer, but characters in TV shows have come back from a lot worse. It's possible that he could have wound up ashore somewhere after the dam explosion, whereby someone found him and then nursed him back to health. Imagine if he actually wakes up from the dam explosion to see Daniel standing over him. Well, the poor guy would have wished he was dead by the time Daniel finished with him. And what if it turns out that since the dam incident, Troy and Daniel have actually been travelling together the entire time? I'd watch that for sure. Hell, just make it into a spin-off buddy cop show with the two of them. It's got to be better than Fear's 4th season. The other theory I've seen regarding Troy's return is that he's still very much dead. However, he will appear in some kind of flashback or dream sequence. Technically, the scenario I just mentioned with Troy waking up after the dam explosion would be classed as a flashback, due to Fear's messy timeline. But the point I'm trying to make here is that some people think Troy will reappear on the show, but he won't actually be alive in the present. This makes sense due to what I said earlier about him being hit in the head with a hammer. However, I think it would be kind of pointless to go to all this effort to bring him back, only for him not to have a presence in the current timeline. Kind of like what they did with Madison. I guess one of the remaining characters might think back to an encounter that they had with Troy in the past, and then a flashback scene could perhaps pay out for the audience to see, but I don't really know why the likes of Alicia or Luciano would even be having flashbacks about Troy, especially considering how long it's been since everything at the ranch happened. I'm leaning more towards Troy returning and being very much alive, but it could be that this news has been blown out of proportion and he may just end up having a small cameo on the show. I am hesitant to make any real predictions about what will happen to Fear, especially as Season 4 pretty much led viewers down the garden path with its promo material and then basically ignored everything that happened during the last 3 seasons with its narrative, but we will see what happens. I know a lot of viewers weren't happy with Troy's death in Season 3 due to his popularity, but whilst part of me did feel that way, I did also feel that his death was necessary. The guy was a loose cannon, he was too dangerous to be kept around, and Madison recognised that. I was actually reading up on what Dave Erickson had to say about his death earlier today, and I found this quote from him. Erickson believes Troy's death is a key moment for both Madison and Nick. "I think it was in that moment where she kills him, she realises that I tried to do the right thing. I tried to offer charity, and I tried to offer kindness, and I let him go, and now because of that the ranch is gone, the dam is compromised, and I think that's the moment when Madison comes full circle." Erickson says that's the moment where she realises this is who I am. Nick's not wrong, the violence is ingrained in her, and what she realises is that she deviated from that course. She wasn't true to herself and people suffered because of it, and so in that instance she decides to put him down. And that has a direct impact on Nick as Nick moves into the last episode because he wants to reject that and find another way. Now for those of you who do like Fear's latest season, don't worry, I'm not about to go on a full rant about Season 4 because that's not what this video is about. But you can see here that Erickson's vision for the characters went completely out of the window when Gimple's Dumb Morgan crossover happened. Madison wasn't supposed to be the Morgan-esque all life is precious character that she became at the stadium. Instead, she was supposed to be a badass mum who did whatever she needed to protect her family. Troy's death was meant to have a big impact on two characters who were supposed to play a big part in the future of the show. Sadly though, Frank Delane wanted out, resulting in Nick being killed, and if you read some of the interviews that he did after Nick's exit, Frank mentions that it felt like the end of an era due to new showrunners coming in, and I have no doubt his decision was somewhat influenced by what he saw the show as going down the toilet. As for Madison, well, she was also killed off in what was a complete waste of her character. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, aside from me just being bitter, is that the two characters who were supposed to be affected the most by Troy's death are both dead themselves, so his death doesn't really serve that much of a purpose anymore, so the show might as well just bring him back. I mean, he's a far better character than half of those who are currently left on the show anyway. And as for Daniel, I guess there was always the chance that his character would return, as he hasn't been mentioned since the end of season 3, and I think the actor who plays him, Ruben Blades, or Blades, or is it Blades? I'm sorry, I don't know the pronunciation, has said that Daniel is alive out there somewhere. However, it was such a weird decision by the showrunners not to have him appear at all during season 4, especially seeing how well revered his character is, which meant I found myself thinking that maybe just like the Proctors, for example, his character would be simply forgotten about. So for him to come back, for me, is just as shocking as the news that Troy is coming back. Ruben is a very talented and also a very busy guy. Just one look at his Wikipedia page and you'll see that he's a huge Latin music star who's even tried his hand at a political career. So I don't really think he would take the time out to come back to Fear if his character was just going to have a bit part in the show, because he, quite frankly, has better things to do. So hopefully Daniel will get a decent amount of screen time next season. Again, how his character will fit in with the narrative is hard to tell with the writers that Fear currently has, but he does still have the potential to make things interesting. He's still got beef with Strand, and I would love to see him come back to give Strand a rude awakening when he least expected it. Also, if he could just off Morgan, June and Al, that would be great. The fact that the showrunners are bringing both of these two very popular characters back does smell slightly of desperation. However, admittedly, before this news was announced, I had zero interest in watching Fear's 5th season. And although I'm still sceptical about committing to watching the show again, this news has got me interested, and it's something I'll definitely keep my eye on. So I guess from that point of view, the announcements have worked. And it may also entice others who gave it with the show to try it again. For me, I believe that if the narrative carries on in the same direction as it was heading in last year, then Troy and Daniel's presence isn't going to make the slightest bit of difference to the quality of the show or my enjoyment of it. I am hoping though that this decision to bring these two back is a sign that Fear is trying to regain its identity and go back to how things were pre-Gimple, rather than just bringing back these two fan favourite characters in a desperate attempt to boost ratings without giving them any real purpose. Just like Morgan. I guess only time will tell. So there you have it, that's all I have to say on this news. Are you excited about Daniel and Troy returning? Are you not really bothered, or are you actually annoyed that these two characters are coming back? Whatever your opinion, please let me know below. Also, I know that this is only my second video that I put out in December, but a combination of me being ill, well, I had a cold, but I couldn't really record with that, and my daughter being ill and teething and not sleeping has meant that I haven't really been able to do much in the way of videos, and also I've had a lot of work to do at work. Like I had to go to London the other day for training, and that was just a pain in the arse, and yeah, I just wanted to go to bed. So yeah, I've just been too tired and busy to make videos, and it's no good, you know, when you're half asleep. It's a struggle to write a decent script or you know, go on camera. So yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, but I got planned to try and get some videos out this week. I'm going to do a poll shortly about what cooking video to make, because I want to try. They're usually quite easy to make, cooking videos. It's just me being an idiot and some sort of some talking over the top. So I'll ask what you want to see me make, and I've still got that Christmas video which will be done. The script's done. I just need to film it. I'll film it this week, and then hopefully I'll edit over the weekend, and that will be done in time for Christmas. I don't think I'll put it up Christmas Day. Well, I mean, I won't schedule it for Christmas Day because I don't think it's going to be on YouTube Christmas Day. Maybe I'll schedule it so it goes out Christmas Eve or the day before or something, but that'll be done. The other one is a video that I've been putting off for ages, the volume 31 of the Walking Dead book. I still haven't read it. I read a bit of it. I might have to wait, to be honest, till after Christmas, because it's one of those things, you read the book and it's like, because they come out every 3 months, I can't even remember what happened in the last volume, to be honest. So I read a bit of it, and it was sort of minor spoiler, comic spoilers here. It was like Eugene meeting up with the Commonwealth, the guards. They all had the Stormtrooper outfit going on, and they're talking to him, and he was just negotiating. That was all cool, but I was still sort of thinking, hang on, how did they even get to this situation? I can't. Yeah, that's, you know, it's been so long, I genuinely can't remember. So I might have to read the other ones and then catch up. So yeah, apologies if you're still waiting on that video. It probably won't be done now until after Christmas. Maybe before New Year. I don't know. Maybe after. We'll see. But yeah, 2 more. I want to get 2 more videos out: the cooking one and that Christmas special, and then we'll see what happens after that. Hopefully the volume 20, and then I need to start watching Game of Thrones season 3 as well, because I haven't started that yet. So I mean, I've got a week off from Friday. Friday's my last day at work. I've got a week off, so maybe I can try and get some in over Christmas, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, sorry it's not been very busy on my channel. It's been a busy month for me, but we'll do a couple more videos and start again in the new year. So thank you everyone. I won't say Happy Christmas yet because I'll say it. I've got a couple more videos. I'll say it then. But yeah, have a good week, whatever you're doing up till Christmas, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. I'm going to bed.